Hey Brad, tanks. I'm going to show you tanks. Um, Tanks have switched over the expansions to where they're no longer just meat shields. They're actually a contribution to damage now, and they rely on their abilities to keep them alive through the high damage points. Um, Not just having a whole bunch of stamina and the ability to not be crit. They now actually have to actively defend themselves, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's just see, still do pretty good damage. But a bear, similar to a warrior, generates rage. And then once they get enough rage, they can then spend that rage, which I have 65 right now. See it on the red bar and on the top left. And I can use Savage Defense, which will increase my dodge chance by 45% and reduce my damage taken by 20% for 6 seconds. Um, it's not really bad. And there's other things that they use, but that's pretty much tanking. The holding threat is not an issue at all. I mean, not even close. Holding threat is retard proof. Although I've seen people who screw that up because they pull with a taunt and then go after another target thinking that taunt is going to last forever, and taunt does not last forever. Taunt lasts 6 seconds and then everything's reset. So if you don't get your threat generated, you're not going to hold threat. And so I pulled off a bad tanks like that, but that's just literally a bad tank. um, oh, holy crap, why do you do that? That was overly kind of him. I need to thank him, that little stinker. He sent me upgrades to my warrior, which is awesome. And wow, that's really cool of him. I'll need to get that switched over here tonight. That wasn't cheap. That was like 30,000 gold a pop if you were to sell those. So, very awesome for him. Thanks, D, if you ever watch this. Anyway, I am completely distracted now. Oh yeah, so tanks. More damage, more positioning, more holding threat, more keeping the boss steady so people can beat them up. Um, Far less just meat shield anymore. You have to use active defense. Like I use rage to either dodge or I use rage to heal myself. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. And some of the other things in the game that you'll figure out later are like gems. You gotta know what and when to use gems for. And it's secondary stats mastery in this case, but I'll explain that to you later. And poof. So just to give you an idea, when I'm a bear, go down to defense. I have an 18% chance to dodge, which I can actually make that higher by using rage. I take almost 60% reduced damage from bonus armor. And then mastery, when I get hit, 37.1% of that damage becomes a shield. So if I get for 100,000, hit for 100,000, 37,000 is what I'm going to absorb next time. So it's just flat damage reduction. Then of course there's the gear. This gear reduces the damage taken by 15.71% health. Um, yeah, so it's more, I've got to use my cooldowns because this lasts 6 seconds, but the cooldown on it, or the recharge time, is 12 seconds. So there is a gap if I have to use it heavily, and if I don't use it wisely, I won't have it when I need it. And that's the same with all tanks, even though all their abilities are different. So it's just being smart and having more buttons to hit than other people. That's another thing that tanks have. So again, higher skill set, but again, tanking itself isn't hard. So now a note about warriors. I'm on mine right now. No, I haven't sent those weapon upgrades to me yet, but it's going to significantly upgrade the damage. Because to go from 690 each, see how it's stage 5 of 6, he sent me the stage 6 upgrade for both of them. It's going to be a nice little damage boost. I am very flattered to do that. So, warriors, all melee, all in your face. They use the rage generation for all their specs, not just tanking like the bear. And they're very, very bursty, and they have they have cooldowns to help them do what they need to do when they need to do it. But they're just decent damage dealers. But there's a lot of RNG, and there's a lot of kids yelling in the background. But RNG, you know, random number generator, you're familiar with that from other games and such. But it's a lot of RNG. But when it does go in your favor, it's pretty darn impressive. And even though I'm swinging two-handers. I'm dual wielding two-handers, so my swing speed is slow, but I do have decent numbers, so it looks impressive even though it's slow. And yeah, and spinning. Warriors love to spin. They just spin and spin and spin. Now that's actually a cooldown, but then there's a normal attack where I'm still spinning, as you can see. They just love to spin. It's hilarious. So anyway, there is that there. I just wanted to show you the warriors all up in your face. And the reason I like melee so much is because they're highly mobile. You know, you can move and you're still doing your damage, even though you're getting out of stuff. So I love melee for that reason. Hunters have that same mobility, but at range, which is definitely something to pay attention to. And that's the warrior. Alright, here's the hunter. Remember, I was just telling you about how mobile they are. Everything they do, even if it has a cast time, they can do it while moving, which is really nice. I mean, as you can see, you're not stuck, you're not locked down, you just do what you need to do when you need to do it. I like it for that reason alone, honestly. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom, boom. Just, oh, Sarah, their resource is focus, and that is tied to your pet, who's over there beating the crap out of them right now, and so on and so forth. There's it's very, very similar to energy, only instead of ticking up slowly, you have builders, which is what that Cobra shot is. It makes it jump up, and if you ever purge yourself of it, like I'll purposely dump it right here, all the way down, and then anyway, as you can see, it does slowly tick up, right? But you can really speed that up by doing this. So boom, see, big jump up by, I think it's 12 or something. Just a great way to speed it up and such. So, but again, all that mobility, you don't have to move. I just am because I was showing you that they're mobile. But there's the hunter, range DPS. All right, so here's a warlock. Here's one of his demon pets, this little blue thing. Oh, I guess that's one of his pets. Where's my pet? Oh, I did the sacrifice pet thing. That's why I don't have one right now. But I can summon pets. And so here is this. I summoned a pet. It's the succubus because they're cool. Chains, whips, and they smack themselves in the butt. It's kind of funny. Anyway, so this is the warlock, which is a combination. It's kind of a mobile caster, I guess. I don't know. There's still, they just, you know, they do fire and chaos damage. Here's the big one. Anyway, it's pretty cool. They have a dual, as far as casters go, they have a dual, drawn a blank, dual resource system, similar to the Death Knights and Paladins and Monks. They use mana to generate, or to cast fire spells, which then in turn generates embers, which when they fill up, it unlocks your biggest hitters, like this guy, who's one of your biggest hitters. Boink, right? Way harder than anything else I'm throwing out there. So that's the dual purpose. And if I do this long enough, I'm going to show you something, because they have a really cool AoE ability. It's a cooldown. And come on. I need more than one. I gotta get two. So bear with me. I'm going to build this up and then unpause it. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to use Fire and Brimstone, which is freaking awesome because it hits all targets. Watch.
Daddy, what am I supposed to do?
And it just unloads on all of them, and it's just so much fun. And it's great. But it eats up your burning embers like crazy. Anyway, so that was just what I wanted to show you. It's pretty fun. And there's that. Alright. Okay, this is a better example of the caster damage for most of the other casters and other specs of the warlock and such. Again, I'm a really low level. This is only level 22, so I won't be able to hit any of these dummies, but it'll still show you the cast time and why I'm not a fan. Here we go.
Daddy, what am I
So,
do now?
you just and you can't move during this. If you move, it interrupts. See, it just interrupts. And this is a long cast off. Now, don't get me wrong, you won't see me hit, but when you do hit, it hits harder, so it balances out in damage per second. But this is just makes you vulnerable to things. So you have a couple of, yeah, it's interesting. I don't like them. They're not my choice, but I can do them. And mages are pretty cool, honestly. I'm just not a fan. And something I like to do is walk up to my daughters, pretend that guy's my daughter right there, and I'll ice block, and I'm like, oh, oh no, what happened? Watch this, I'm going to disappear, and then I'll take it off and blink, and they're like, where did he go? See, he's behind me right there, and they don't know where I am. So I could have done that and then hit this and been around a corner, and they never would have seen me. Anyway, fun little game with mages. And that's pretty much everything I'm going to record. You just have to ask more specific questions after this.